He's done more than I would. I won't carry on fighting with one eye. No chance.
Dana White is a master of what he does, right? So, like, I wonder why Dana has phrased it that way, like, oh, he didn't want to continue. Like, he couldn't continue. I mean, I think that's very obvious. And there's a difference between didn't want to and couldn't. And what you're basically saying is...
Tom Aspinall is still badly injured and furious, calling out the UFC for unfair treatment after the chaos of UFC 321. Meanwhile, Paddy the Baddy, who is a British mixed martial artist who competes in the UFC's lightweight division, said that Tom Aspinall was ready to show why he's the heavyweight champ and make a big statement against Cyril Gane. He said Gane's speed and striking could give Tom trouble on the feet, but once it hits the ground, Aspinall had the clear advantage.
Tommy Aspinall had main events, heavyweight champion of the world. Let's do this, Tom. Show everyone why you're the boy. If I was Aspinall, I'd want to come in and take him down and try and finish him even faster than John Jones did, make a statement. I think Gane could give him a lot of trouble on the feet. Gane's so fast and explosive. On the feet, lad, Gane could cause him major problems. It's just on the floor that I think Aspinall's got a big advantage. Yeah, he hasn't fought since I...
Reacted to the fight itself, saying both fighters started strong, landing big shots. Paddy pointed out that Tom's head kicks and right hands looked sharp, but Gane's fast jab kept finding its mark. Everything changed in the last seconds of the round when Gane accidentally poked both of Tom's eyes, leaving him completely blinded. Paddy said that was one of the worst ways a main event could end.
Nice head kick by Aspinall. Oh, nice right hand by Tom. Gane's jab's fast though, lad. He's catching Aspinall with this jab a lot. They're both laughing. Touch your gloves, belter. Aspinall's nose is bleeding there, it's got a pop nose. Only a bit of blood though, lad, we've all had that. Nice low kick by Tom. Oh, nice right hand. Oh, that was an eye poke, wasn't it? That was both eyes as well. That wasn't just his finger in one eye. His fingers went in both eyes. It's not even like he just poked them in one, lad. He's just pushed both his fingers into his eyes. I can't see, as he just said. Lad, if this does end like this will be one of the worst pay-per-views in UFC's history. One of the biggest disappointments ever when it comes to a card.
Paddy also said it was unfair for the fight to stop like that, even if it was unintentional, and hopes the UFC books a rematch as soon as possible. He added that this could have been Tom's toughest test so far in the UFC, and fans deserve to see it finished properly.
Oh, I don't know really what Tom's meant to do there. If he can't see, he can't be fighting, can he? Like, I know Bisping fought with one eye, but that was because he had to. Tom doesn't have to fight with one eye. So hopefully they just get that fight booked again, because that was shaping up to be Tom's toughest test he's ever had in the UFC. So hopefully that fight gets rebooked sooner rather than later. They're heavyweights. It's not like they need to do a big weight cut to get down to fight weight.
After the fight, Tom Aspinall was rushed to the hospital with severe eye injuries, including one eye completely shut and both eyes blurry. He was in significant pain, and the medical team treated and examined his eyes carefully to prevent long-term damage.
Is it a better one? There's CPS in that one.
Tom himself made it clear that he wouldn't continue fighting with an injured eye, emphasizing the serious risk to his health. His doctor pointed out that while UFC is a combat sport, certain actions like eye pokes are illegal and dangerous.
I won't carry on fighting with one eye. No chance. No chance. See what they say.
This is not boxing.
UFC.
Hey man, what is UFC? It's martial arts, right?
Yeah, in a cage.
Include like this?
Well, you're not
No,
supposed
that's
to do that.
illegal.
That's illegal, right?
Yes.
You're not supposed to do that.
Initial checks showed no permanent damage, though his vision remained blurry for a while. Follow-ups were scheduled to ensure full recovery, and stopping the fight was crucial for his health. After receiving treatment, he and the team were waiting for further tests and results, planning to continue evaluations back in the UK. Despite the uncertainty, Tom expressed gratitude for the support and promised to keep fans updated, showing his commitment to both his recovery and transparency.
It's now the next day. About what time is it? 3:36 a.m. Got some Orioles. At least I got something positive there. And yeah, we're just waiting for further results. We've got to do some more tests in the UK as well. So we're flying back tomorrow and today. And we'll go from there. I'm not sure when. I'm ready to let everyone know what's going on. So thanks for the support though, appreciate it. And I'll see you next time, whenever the next time's going to be. We are heartbroken on the channel, but We'll do what we can. See you soon.
Former UFC champions Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo shared their thoughts on the fight. They emphasized that it wasn't Tom's fault, as only he knew how severe the injury was. Henry pointed out Gein's composure, movement, and willingness to take risks, which gave him the edge. Tom came out aggressive, trying to finish the fight quickly like usual, but Gein absorbed the strikes and stayed patient, showing he could match Tom's speed and power.
And Ciryl Gane did not, he was not afraid of Tom. And it looked like Tom was antsy to kind of get the finish a little bit because he's been so accustomed to finishing everybody that he was almost racing for the knockout. And he did clip Gane, but Ciryl Gane's composure was different. His movement, his composure, and the fact that he was taking chances was the difference in this fight. You know, there was that eye poked in that fight. Unfortunately, this is shit that happens. It's the same referee that happened with me, happened with him. So it just don't take much. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom, you got to take him for his word. You know, he did get papped up. I could see why people are saying that he possibly took the easy route out because maybe to regroup. But, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, that eye is... The eyes, I mean, fuck, dude, I'd be the first one to be hating right now, but because it's happened to me.
Moreover, both agreed that the fight highlighted lessons for Tom. He's used to early finishes, but against a dynamic fighter like Gein, he must rely on strategy, fight IQ, and patience. Gein's improved striking, takedown defense, and poise made him a serious challenge, and the short first round suggested that a rematch will be far more competitive than many expected.
Other than that, man, Ciryl Gane was putting in work. He had him bloody, he had him bleeding, he had him leaking. And then, you know, about a minute and a half left. I mean, the fight was pretty much, it was no mas. So overall, dude, the way that I see this fight, and I'm guarantee you, John Jones is licking them fingers right now. Man, right now, as of right now, Tom is a one-round fighter, bro. Like, I was curious to see him in that fifth.
However, Kamaru and Henry also noted the mental aspect. Tom isn't used to facing adversity mid-fight, while Gein remained calm and fearless. This experience could either fuel Tom to be more dynamic in the rematch or test his patience if he lets the first round outcome affect him. Overall, the fight confirmed Gein as a top contender and set up a high-stakes rematch in the heavyweight division.
You're right, the odds have gotten closer, but here, I think this pisses Tom off even more. This is more fuel to the fire.
Moving on, True Geordie, a popular MMA analyst, reacted strongly to the Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane fight, saying that Tom was in control from the start and looked sharp despite being out for months. He dismissed claims that Tom was struggling, explaining that Gein was backing away and trying to survive instead of trading punches. According to him, Tom's movement, timing, and pressure showed why he's the top heavyweight in the world.
Online that Tom Aspinall was struggling against Ciryl Gane. He was getting found out. He quit because he just didn't want it in there with Ciryl Gane. He was too much for him. Well, let's take a look at the footage. Obviously, Ciryl Gane, known for his stand-up, struggles with the takedown defense historically. Looks like he'd been working on that in this fight. Tom just gets straight into him, goes with the right hand, pushes him back, takes center out of the octagon, shows that he's in control here. Nice step in backhand from Ciryl Gane though. I did like that, and I think that Tom immediately showed the ring rust, been out of the ring for a while, not quite as sharp, but still lands with the knee, follows it up with his own backhand.
He then addressed the controversial eye poke that ended the fight, calling it dirty and dangerous. He did not agree with what others says. Instead, Geordie said Gein's fingers went into both of Tom's eyes and that it looked intentional, not accidental.
He's in danger right now. He is slowing down. That was a nice jab on the way in there from Tom Aspinall against Tom Aspinall from Ciryl Gane. I'll give him that. But right afterwards, he pokes Tom Aspinall in the eye. Do I think it's a coincidence that just as you see the legs of Ciryl Gane slowing down and Tom Aspinall closing the gaps, he starts throwing an eye poke? Do I think that's a coincidence? Not at all. Just like it wasn't a coincidence when it happened earlier in the fight. When Aspinall did shoot for a takedown at one point, the fingers immediately go into the eyes of Tom Aspinall.
Moreover, he was furious that the main event ended like that, saying it robbed fans of a fair fight and could have caused serious damage to Tom's vision.
From UFC fighters who've spoke out since then, just how brutal and miserable an eye poke like that is. That's one of the worst we've ever seen. 2 eyes as well. Apparently your eyes just leaking for days. You're in pain constantly. It's fucking horrible. And Tom's got every right to be pissed off, by the way. Like,
Later, he criticized Dana White for implying that Tom didn't want to continue the fight. Jordy said it was unfair to frame it that way when Tom literally couldn't see and had no choice but to stop. He also suggested that Dana's comments might be influenced by Tom's recent remarks about fighter pay and UFC politics. In the end, he defended Tom, saying he deserves respect for stepping into the cage and handling an unfortunate situation with class.
Dana White is a master of what he does, right? So, like, I wonder why Dana has phrased it that way, like, oh, he didn't want to continue. Like, he couldn't continue. I mean, I think that's very obvious. And there's a difference between didn't want to and couldn't. And what you're basically saying is...
Adding to this, Dr. Brian Sutterer, who is a sports medicine physician and one of the most popular medical analysts, immediately shuts down claims that Tom quit or faked the injury, calling them complete nonsense. According to Dr. Sutterer, there was nothing fake about what happened, the damage was real, and the idea that Aspinall was looking for an excuse is just wrong. He says even if one of Tom's eyes looked open during the post-fight interview, that doesn't mean he wasn't seriously hurt.
Tom Aspinall's title fight against Cyril Gane ended with a bit of a letdown after being ruled a no contest when Aspinall was unable to continue after what is certainly one of the worst looking, not single, but double eye pokes I've seen in the sport. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Suter, and the goal in this channel is to teach more about the medical side of the sports world. And right off the bat, for any MMA fans watching this saying that Tom Aspinall quit, that he was trying to duck Gane, and that he knew he was going to lose anyway, so he just claimed he couldn't see, absolute, complete nonsense. There is nothing about what we saw here that should be regarded as him faking this or making this up. I don't care that one of his eyes was open during the interview. There is nothing about this that should be interpreted as him making an excuse or trying to get out of the fight.
Moreover, he then breaks down what likely happened medically. When a finger hits the eye, it can cause a corneal abrasion, a tear in the thin layer of cells on the surface of the eye. This makes it nearly impossible to keep the eye open as the brain forces it to shut to protect it. That's why Aspinall couldn't continue. The doctor also explains that even if the eye looks normal during inspection, the damage can still be there. The key point, just because the eye didn't look bad on camera doesn't mean the injury wasn't serious.
Let's talk about what we're seeing here with this eye poke. What you have to remember, right, a lot of times when we think of an eye poke and the more serious ones, we think about whether or not the eyelid was open or the eyelid was closed. In this case, for certainly Aspinall's right eye, it seems like his eyelid was closed. His left eye, it seems like that fingernail of Cyril Gane does get underneath his eyelid. But what we also have to remember is it's not just about the contact to the eyeball itself, but also the direct pressure that is being applied onto the eye and what that can do in terms of pain and real trauma, damage, potentially vision threatening.
Finally, Dr. Sutterer reviews the slow motion footage and confirms that the pressure from Gane's fingers was enough to cause real trauma. He notes the force around both eyes, especially the left, where the fingernail appeared to go under the eyelid. He emphasizes that everyone reacts differently. Some fighters might push through, but if Aspinall said he couldn't see, the doctor fully believes him.
And so this isn't just about did his eye look normal or not. We have to take into account the amount of pressure that was imparted onto his eyeball and not just visually what the eye looks like when the doctor inspects it. So as we look at this whole sequence here, yes, there are plenty of moments and part of this sequence where Aspinall could absolutely have sustained a significant enough eye injury to not be able to continue. I will admit, yes, here, first right when things are starting, the hand comes in, it looks like his right eyelid is closed, but look at all the pressure that is going through his eyeball.
Sutterer adds that Tom will likely get further medical tests like dye drops and retinal scans to rule out lasting damage. He ends by saying he hopes Aspinall's vision fully recovers because long-term eye issues can even stop fighters from being cleared to compete again.
Remember though, the same injury is not going to affect everybody the same way. So some fighters this might happen, their eye might respond in a way where they can keep it open, their vision is okay and they can continue. But if a fighter is telling you that they cannot open their eyes, they cannot then see things to protect themselves, and you have no choice but to end the fight. I don't want to hear any of this that he was faking or ducking. Very legitimate. Don't just think about the scraping on the eyeball. Remember that even though his eyelids were closed, the direct pressure being translated through the eyeball can cause trauma to the eyeball itself.
Tom Aspinall's message is clear that he's not backing down. The eye injury may have stopped the fight, but but it hasn't stopped his determination. He's focused on recovery, waiting for full medical clearance, and wants the UFC to give him a fair rematch to prove himself again. Fans, fighters, and even doctors agree what happened at UFC 321 wasn't Tom's fault, and his safety came first. Now the question is simple. Will the UFC make things right and book Aspinall versus Gane 2? Because until that happens, this story isn't over. If you think Tom Aspinall deserves a fair rematch, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the next chapter in this heavyweight drama is coming fast.